Hello, everybody. I am Hoarder Gamer, and hopefully, I have audio again this week. We had audio last week, which is really nice. Audio was enjoyable. I feel that was a good touch. I feel, going away from like early 19th century movie to going with a talkie, meaning sound, was probably a good idea. So, we got reviews, we got conversation, we've got toys, we've got gaming, everything this week. We have a pretty packed episode. So, I hope everyone is ready. I hope everyone's excited. I am. And yeah, let's start. We're going to start with a review. Everybody, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 129. Now, this is probably, I'm guessing, a month or two out from Armageddon Game, which is going to be this really cool summer event, huge event, not just like summer. It's like a big one involving the Rat King and a takeover that the Rat King has been planning for years, apparently. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it because they showed the artist, and yeah, it looks really good. It looks intense, and I think it's going to be awesome. Now, I liked this book. I, however, did not love the art. I felt the art it didn't wed to the story for me as well, or the characters. It isn't bad, but it's like I see the art, for other turtle books, and then I see the art in this one. And, that's just what I have to say, However, the story's wild. There's an evil mad scientist who created who you see in that cover. Mammoth, good to see you, Mammoth. How you doing? Created who you see on that cover, who is Venus. And this mad scientist has also kidnapped a number of the Turtles' friends as well as Donatello. And there's this really interesting scene where Donatello is toying with the idea of working with the mad scientist for him to be altered and made better by removing his carapace, his turtle shell, and fusing him with dragon energy. It's nuts. Also, there's the idea that through the dragon energy, you can astrally project yourself. Venus is able to do that, and Donatello now. Also, there's a fight between, I believe it was Raphael and Casey Jones. And that's good to hear, Mammoth. Very cool. A fight between, I believe, Raphael and Casey Jones. And, they're trying to figure out where the turtles are. Where is Donatello? Where are our friends? Also, you have a flashback showing how Genghis and Napoleon and the other punk frogs became punk frogs from regular human punk rockers. You get a very brief thing about a mutagen bomb going off in New York, and that's what made them. It's good. It's good. I like the issue, and I like where the story is going, but again, the artwork just did not do it for me. I think it's worth getting, and it's exciting to see where we're leading into for Armageddon Game. Again, if you missed that, it's the big TMNT event this summer, which I think is going to be awesome. And it looks like a new artist is taking over, and they totally get the darker, more Eastman and Laird look of the Turtles. I was really impressed by what I've seen of that artwork so far. So, but yeah, otherwise I think it's good. And I think it'll make you excited for what is coming in TMNT. That is our first review, everybody, for today. TMNT 129. This here's the variant cover. I was able and happy to get this variant cover today, so that was cool. So depending on your shop, you may not get variant covers. You may get very few. Some variant covers are going to be insane and rather expensive only because the store got them because they bought 25 copies. They bought 50 copies. They bought 100 copies. So because of that, it's going to be probably in the $15, $25 range for the one issue, depending on how many copies they had to buy to get it. That's usually how that works. Now, that's a regular variant. There's the normal cover, which I honestly didn't like. And then this one, which shows Venus, detailed picture of Venus, basically, as you'd say, on the slab, like in Rocky Horror Picture Show with Rocky, because she is like a Frankenstein creation from this mad scientist. And it's interesting, too, because the mad scientist respects Donatello, but is also, like, you know, a mad scientist. So, dangerous to Donatello at the same time. Spring, I have something amazing on the show for you tonight. Okay? Now, your significant other, please ask them not to kill me when I show you. Okay? But a collectible that will make your eyes pop out of your head. Especially when I tell you the price. It's really cool, but it's crazy expensive. So, we don't have a show to review this week, but we will have next week Obi-Wan. Star Wars Obi-Wan. Now, I forget if it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, if they went with the full name. I think it's just Star Wars Obi-Wan. And, yeah, we'll be talking about that as our show for, like, the next 6 episodes. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, Moon Knight ended. I didn't have a show to talk about. But what we're going to do is veer just ever so slightly off the comic book path and talk about Better Call Saul. One of the best shows on TV in the last wow, I'd say 20 years. It's that damn good. It's awesome. And basically, Saul Goodman is Jimmy McGill, a lawyer who has decided to take the easy route, as some call him Slippin' Jimmy, and get involved in organized crime, and he gets in over his head. And this is basically a prequel to the show Breaking Bad. Same creators, same writers, really good show. And the, what do you call that? Like the first half of the last season just ended on Monday. And it was powerful and intense. And this whole season, this half, was all about this Machiavellian, brilliant machination of Jimmy and his girlfriend, or actually wife. They recently did get married. Jimmy and his wife to destroy, completely, utterly destroy a rival at a different law firm. And they took it so personally, and they go so out there with it. And the ending of the episode that just happened Monday will have your jaw drop onto the floor. One of the best villains on TV ever, Gustavo Fring, also known as Gus. He's in both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, played by Giancarlo Esposito, an amazing actor. You also know him from Star Wars, The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian. So, yeah, very good show. I highly recommend it. I don't want to say too much because I'd be spoiling things, but there's this great scene of a guy with binoculars sitting in a sewer. And the opening, the cold opening of the episode, is a close-up of the street and, what do you call that? One of those round sewer discs or whatever, you know. Anyway, they close up on the street, and you have that close up for a little bit. Car goes by, and then all of a sudden it starts moving, and a man comes out of the sewer. He goes to a truck stop, gets in his car, goes to a truck stop, takes a shower, gets a snack, and then goes back into the sewer, and then the opening credits start. If you're watching the show, that made sense. If not, maybe not. But it gives you an idea how amazing the openings are to the episodes of Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad if you haven't seen them. How truly engaging they are, and they make you want to see more. So yeah, both those shows get an incredibly high recommendation from me. And we only have 6 episodes left of Better Call Saul, and then it's done. So yeah, that was my little TV moment, for today. Because again, no show until next week where we talk about Obi-Wan issue. It's not a comic book. It's a show. It's a show, darn it. Obi-Wan episode 1 from Disney Plus. Also, this is based on a comic book. Rescue Rangers. The Chip and Dale character were in comic books many, many years ago. So I could bring this up. I did watch Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers on Disney Plus last night, and it was awesome. It's actually really good. It's got a very clever villain. It's got a clever plot from that villain. A lot of really good jokes. And The Lonely Island, featuring Andy Samberg and Akiva Schaffer, were involved in the making of the film. It is far better than you're expecting it to be. And if you saw the recent DuckTales reboot, you'll have an idea what I'm talking about. Like, the quality level is really high. So that was good. I'm not going to go into a huge detail thing about that, but I wanted to bring it up because it's really good and I definitely recommend it. Now, I'm going to make a number of members of the Doom Squad, of which I am a member, and of which I am borrowing the Doom Squad Gaming YouTube channel. Thank you, Doom. I'm going to make a lot of you happy. You aren't expecting this, okay? But here we go. First off, Sadistic Kitten. Not sure if you saw this, Sadistic, but TMNT Turtles. We'll go over my face. I'm not that pretty. So we can go over my face for a little bit. So take a look at this. Shredder's Revenge, okay, from Limited Run Games, and apparently it's going to be available in stores, not just through Limited Run Games, which is something that doesn't always happen. Now, this might be a situation where it's only at GameStop in the US. I don't know. There's no more details yet. I guess we find out in June, though, when they tell us about also a collector's edition. What you're seeing, this version has a reversible cover, sprite stickers, as you can see there, and an art booklet, as well as really cool artwork on that reversible cover. And it's a physical release, too. So instead of a digital copy, if you want a physical release, there you go. And I know that Sadistic Kitten is very excited for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games coming out, both this and the collection. I believe the Cowabunga collection. So yeah, there's also a collector's edition, but we don't know about this one yet. In June, we will. So reverse cover kind of looks... It does! And look how cool Shredder looks. Like, honestly, well, I would have went with that as the main cover. Because look, you still got this. You still got this, right? You're not just excising that stuff. It's there as well. So, I mean, that would, to me, would have been the main cover, the one with Shredder. But yeah, that's going to be cool. There's no price yet. I'm going to guess around 30. Because I think the digital game, well, maybe it'd be 40. Probably 30 or 40, I would say. Because I'm going to guess the digital game will have some really cool features, quite a few levels and things like that. I'm guessing that'll be $29.99. Again, a guess. Do not come to me with pitchforks and torches and be upset. I don't know for sure. But it just seems very feasible to me that that's how much it would be. So, we have more gaming news, everybody. Yeah, physical, I think it'll be $39.99. I think the digital will be $29.99, and I think the version I just showed you will be $39.99. Yes. I agree, Mike. I agree. Now, more gaming news. 2.4, everybody. Marvel's Avengers 2.4. I believe it goes live tomorrow. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it went live today. It goes live tomorrow. It's very exciting because now single player can actually go and upgrade a lot. Like take yourself from level 150, I believe, all the way to 175. And also, this is important, you're able to play the events, and the events are far more meaningful with better gear now. You're more of a reason to actually do them, which is exciting. That will mean more people are playing. So this update is really cool. Also, another big update for Marvel's Avengers. They are hiring a number of employees. They are not getting rid of Marvel's Avengers employees. They are adding employees. Even Brian Wagner, who's working on the project, and I think is one of the main people now for it, said that there's another hiring going on for another position. I think it's like a total of 10 new positions, if not more. So it's very exciting. It's very exciting. And apparently, Brian or one of the other people that works there on Twitter didn't say what, but they weren't freaked out and terrified about the whole thing with Embracer. So it sounds like Embracer is keen on putting time and money into this and making Marvel's Avengers an even better gaming experience, which is awesome. We know we're getting Jane Foster. The rumor right now is June or July. I'm going to guess July for Jane, and I'm going to guess August. Well, you know what? I'm guessing late June. Let's go with this. Late June for Jane, and then August, some point in August, for She-Hulk. Because the rumor is that She-Hulk's Disney Plus show is actually going to be in August. And we know that Thor, Love and Thunder is in July. So I cannot think that they would do a character one after another to make people think like every month a new character is going to come out. I can't see that. But I could see like late June and at some point in August. And depending on what that comes with, that could be awesome. Mr. Hoarder, how can a dead game? It's not dead. I know, I see the little emote. People, I'm telling you, it's not dead. It is very much alive. It's alive. It's alive. We went back to the TMNT book I reviewed with the mad scientist there. Because, again, she's like a Frankenstein creation. So look at that. We went back to something. We did a callback, they call it. Callback. Okay, everybody. Now, we're going to warm up. We're going to warm up with some toy news and toy information. Until we get to the point where spring might actually cry. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure if spring's going to cry, but there's something just wild that I don't know if spring even knows about that I'm going to show here that was, I think, just shown yesterday. Okay, so first off, we got some big excitement. We have Star Wars Fan Celebration this weekend in Anaheim, California. And what would a Star Wars event be without loot? Look at this insanity. Okay, again, I'm going to go over my face, which really isn't all that, pretty. Look at this. Now, some of you might be freaking out like, what are those monstrosities? That's what Star Wars figures looked like in 1977, 1980, 1983. This is what they look like. Specifically in the first run. The sabers actually have these little pointy parts. Get ready for this. It's a trip. Look at that. This weird little thin, pointy little part. The lightsabers had that. I think it had to do with kids being able to pull the saber out and put it back in easily. They found different ways, like having a little piece underneath the arm that you would push. But yeah, so this retro box set will be available at Shop Disney on Friday at, I believe, I think it's 9 a.m. I think it's 7 a.m. PST, which I think is 9 a.m. Central Time. Now, double check that time if you're interested. I do not have a price. If I'm going to wager a price, I'm going to say 15 a figure. I'm going to say 90 to 100 for this box. Plus, it could come with accessories. Okay, it does seem to come with some accessories because Chewbacca has a bowcaster and Leia has a gun. And yeah, Han has a gun. So, yeah, I'm going to say 90 to 100. I don't know for sure. Don't be upset. I think it's a good guess. What I did is, right now, these figures in this scale are going for about $11.99 a piece. Well, plastic's more expensive now because fuel's more expensive now. Okay? I added another $2 or $3 per figure, making it 15 because these are just 4-inch figures. These aren't 6-inch. Or like 3.75 inches or whatever. So at that price, I did 15 a figure. I think it's going to be about 90. I'm hoping not 150. That's crazy, Kiki. That would be wild. I mean, it's Star Wars, so it's not an impossibility. But now this will upset people. And I mean, I'm sorry. While I do like these and appreciate them, I'm really spoiled by the newer sculpts, even from like the 1990s Power of the Force figures. You know, yeah, they made Luke look too jacked. Vader being jacked made sense. You know, David Prowse was a bodybuilder. You know, that wasn't insane. You know, but like, yeah, a lot of the characters were a little bit too jacked or anything, but the detail was good. And I really like those sculpts. So for me, this specific item is something I'm not that excited to pick up. But I wanted to show everyone else because I think a lot of people will want this. I expect this to sell out very quickly, especially because it's 6 figures. They've done something like this, when was it? Maybe about 3-4 years ago, and it was only 3 or 4 figures. Okay? Here you get Vader, and you get the Stormtrooper as well. By the way, doesn't Stormtrooper look crazy like that? Like all skinny? I guess Vader does too. But like, yeah. But I definitely wanted to show everyone this. I thought it was a cool thing. And that's going to be at Shop Disney exclusive on Friday. Okay. That's not all the Star Wars we have, people. Now we're going to have Star Wars I'm excited about. But you remember Micro Machines? Well, this is the next level of that. Jazzwares basically owns a license to Micro Machines. But this is the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron. The Millennium Falcon. Now, the figures, it's going to be hard for me to make this large enough for you to see the figures in detail. They're only 1 inch tall. There's only so much detail you can do on 1-inch figures, okay? I feel it's more like to put them in place and like to have them in the cockpit or something like that. So this set with 4 figures is selling for $44.99. It's already sold out. It was on Amazon. It was on Target. It comes out August 1st. This does not come out Friday. It comes out August 1st. I think these are awesome. And at first you'd just be like, oh, it's just 4 figures outside the ship. This pretty much has all the features of the full-size Millennium Falcon for the 4-inch action figures. It's got lights, it's got sounds, retractable landing gear. This part splits off and you get the seating and everything for the figures. The cockpit opens. This part rotates with the guns. Like, it's really neat. And this piece, it's like 9 inches long or 10 inches long. So the ship itself is pretty big and it's to scale with the 1-inch figures. Now they're going to be all different prices. So like there's also going to be the Darth Vader TIE Fighter, the TIE Fighter, and the X-Wing. Those are only going to be $12 to $16 a piece. They come with, X-Wing comes with R2-D2 and Luke Skywalker, and the, Vader one comes with Darth Vader, of course, and the TIE Fighter, regular TIE Fighter, comes with a TIE Fighter pilot. So people are excited about these. There's also the Razor Crest with Din Djarin, Greef Karga, and Grogu. That's really nice looking. Trying to think what the other ones are. Boba Fett's starship, formerly called Slave One. That's one of the toys. And the Jedi Starfighter with that ring that it sits inside of, coming with Obi-Wan Kenobi and the astromech droid. Those are also in that $12 to $16 range. So far more affordable, quite smaller, but far more affordable and still a great level of detail. So, yeah, I'm excited about these because I like the little figures. I like the fact that they're made to fit inside the vehicle. You know, they've done tons of like die-cast releases and stuff for the vehicles, and they look really nice. But here you've got lights, you got sounds, you got all of it. So I think this is going to be a really cool line starting to come out August 1st, it's supposed to be. Keep an eye on Amazon.com and Target.com. They'll probably get more pre-orders in. I'm pretty sure Amazon will. They seem to usually do that. Like, Amazon sold out of like the Thor Love and Thunder figures. Less than a week later, they had more. So, yeah. They're kind of an unstoppable juggernaut. And if they want something, they get it. And like if they sell through something, they're probably going to get more. Okay. Time to stop the, build up. Time to show the thing I was talking about that I think Spring will be interested in. Spring, did you see this? Wonder if you saw this, Spring. Wonder if you saw this. Oh, look at that, everybody. The legs folded, the chaos energy, the detail on the face, detail on the hair. Look at that. How insane is that? How completely mad is that? Now, I showed a picture on our DSG messaging that I believe Spring saw of the previous Scarlet Witch figure. This is the new one. This was just shown, I believe, yesterday. The Multiverse of Madness. Scarlet Witch. And if you think this looks cool, this is only one picture. Get ready. Get ready when I tell you the price too. That's what I think Spring might cry. Ooh. Hold on here. I see what it's gonna do. It's gonna take over one. That's interesting. What if there's a limit to how many pictures it can do? So, no big deal. Just interchangeable hairstyles. Luminous reflective effect of the eyes to make her look evil. Replaceable hands. Fully posable. Comes with the Darkhold. Hey, Misplaced, how you doing? I appreciate you popping in. Thank you. Thank you very much. The Darkhold. A stand, but as in the movie Scream, but wait, there's more. Hold on here. I got to grab it, though. There we go. I'm pushing things around. I'm screwing things up. It's exciting and fun. Okay, the candle diorama. The freaking... So not only do you have her with the chaos energy, you have the insane candle diorama. And everything else. And yes, this version, this deluxe version with all of that, $320, everybody. So what I was talking about when I said hot toys keep going up in price. $320. The figure with the Darkhold, the regular stand, and the hands that's posable, $280. So... The diorama with the candles, the chaos energy, That stuff there is the deluxe version, and that's 320. 320. Heck yeah! Smash that button. Smash that button. Oh yeah, if you have the money, it's definitely worth it. But it's just like the prices just keep going up on them, you know? Like you can't, if you tried to collect these, you couldn't plan ahead and be like, you know what? I would like to get that character if it comes out. I could very well see people thinking this would be $250. You know, they probably were not expecting it to have the candle diorama, the dream walking spell effect. But yeah, interchangeable hairstyles. All the figures have glass eyes that rotate. Their toys are ridiculous. And the likeness. Look at the detail of the likeness. But yeah, Hot Toys are high quality. In the US, you get them through Sideshow Collectibles. Because Hot Toys is a company in Hong Kong. And they use Sideshow Collectibles. So you can get their toys. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for Hulk smashing that button. Well, I agree, Kiki. I just think that if you're collecting multiple characters and you still want good detail, but not quite the bleeding edge that this is, like, this is insane detail. This is loony. Then for me, I think Marvel Legends make more sense. You know? Like, let's say I'm not going to. Let's say I bought this one at $320. That's my collectible probably I could get for the entire year. Like, that's it. That's it. No Funkos, no Marvel Legends, absolutely nothing else. If they decided to take one of my other favorite DC Marvel characters and did a Hot Toys, I just couldn't get them. That's the thing. Like, that's at that price, you know, it's like it's definitely a trade-off, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful toy. I'm not going to say it isn't. It's really more of a collectible. The value does go up on a lot of these. You can't gauge all of them as, you know, being big collector items for a lot of money, but a number of them are. So, but yeah, I figured that that Spring would be interested in this, and I was like, wow, this was just shown yesterday. I got to have this as part of a show. I was like, this has got to be part of a show. There's no way I could be like, you know what? Nah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to have that as part of a show. No. I'm back! Yeah, marketed at high-end collectors. Yes. Oh yeah, the detail's insane. But if they do a Ravager Thor, that's going to be ridiculously cool too. A Hot Toys Ravager Thor would be awesome. I don't know if they have one yet. They might. It's hard for me to keep track of them. It's like every week they announce a new one. Okay, everybody. We had our first review. Talked a little bit about TV and video gaming, including Marvel's Avengers. We toyed around for a little bit. But now it's the point of the show where we look at next week. We look into the future. A whopping 7 days away. And look at the books that come into your local comic shops. And Comixology. Next Wednesday. Depending on your store, maybe Tuesday. But most stores are Wednesdays. So, okay. Here we go, everybody. Batman. The Batman Annual. So, as a comic book fan of the real big characters, one thing to know is that they'll have an annual at some point in the year. I don't know if there's an exact time. I think it moves around. But there's a book that is not the regular monthly issue that sometimes will be like heavily involved in that story arc. Sometimes tell like offshoot stories or like give you background on villains and stuff. And the Batman Annual's next week. So here's the Batman Annual right here. And let's see. It looks like it's being written by Bresson. Um, that might be a fill-in writer because Chip Zdarsky is taking it over. Chip, who writes Daredevil, is taking over Batman in July. I mentioned that a few weeks ago. It's going to be a huge thing. Batman 125 is Chip Zdarsky taking over. So this might be what you call almost a fill-in writer. I don't know. Brisson was not writing it recently, as far as I know. But there's that. Okay. We got that. Actually, let me make it smaller. Itty bitty Batman. Itty bitty. Look at this gorgeous cover. Look how insanely retro it looks. Look at the color palette. I absolutely love this cover. And it's Mongol's secret origin revealed. So here, like I said, sometimes it's all about a character, maybe a villain, giving you a backstory or something. This is the Action Comics annual. And Action Comics is one of the main Superman comic books. Right now, Superman Kal-El, or Son of Kal-El, is the Superman book. And then Action Comics has like always been the Superman book, even before that was. But yeah, I love that cover. I had to show you all that cover because I was like, that's great. So it's not just the retro, 1970s vibe. It's the insane color palette. It's really cool. As far as I know, that's the base cover too. That is not the variant. So, speaking of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness... who's that right there? Who's that? Who's that? Well, that'd be Clea Strange. Also known as the Doctor Strange currently. Jed MacKay is currently one of Marvel's best writers, and he is writing Strange, the ongoing Doctor Strange comic. Because Doctor Strange, dun dun dun, died about 5 or 6 months ago in a really good story called The Death of Doctor Strange, and has not been brought back immediately. So don't worry though, Jed MacKay, great writer, you're in good hands if you're a fan of Doctor Strange. So, and still, this is early in. This is issue 3. So you can jump on. This should not be a terrible nightmare. Only 2 issues before this. If you wanted to, you could get the back issues. Would not break you, being that this is issue 3. But yeah, I definitely wanted to show that. And be like, yep, this is Clea in the comics currently. So. X-fans, have I got a book for you? I read the first issue of Knights of X. Wrap your head around this one, everybody. Takes place in Otherworld. Involves the Black Knight and King Arthur. And yes, the X-Men are on a quest to find the mutant Holy Grail. Swords and sorcery. And it's really cool. It's really a cool book. This is issue 2, so you can definitely jump in now. You've only missed 1 issue where they basically got their quest and realized that the Black Knight and Arthur are like, trying to stop them. Very cool book. And I know it's difficult, the X books, because there's so many of them, but this is a real strong one. So, Knights of X. Here, everybody, is a book that almost everyone missed. The reason you might have missed this is because speculators knew about this book coming out and ran out and bought it. You're looking at the cover for the second printing of Grimm #1 by Stephanie Phillips, up-and-coming writer. It's very cool. It's dark. And it's kind of a mix of horror and kind of like almost an anime vibe of a comedy mixed in. And it's about a Grim Reaper losing their scythe to one of their victims And basically that kind of screws up their entire, I guess, afterlife. We don't know exactly what the Reapers occupied. I read this issue digitally. I wasn't even able to get a physical copy myself. But Grimm is really good, and it's going to be a strong series. So that's the second printing right there. First print off eBay for cost. That's cool. That's really cool, Mike. But see, I mean, I think it's cool that they were able to get a second printing out already. Boom is yeah, I mean, that's really neat. They must have known through pre-orders that they would need one. Because there's no way with like paper being what it is right now. Some comic companies are having paper shortages. Books aren't coming out as soon as they should. So like they had to have known ahead. But like that's a really great cover. That's a really nice cover, and the book is really good. So I definitely had to show everybody Grimm #1. And my horror fans, not fans of me, I don't expect that. Fans of horror, things that go bump in the night, The Closet. Take a look at this. Well, if I can actually enlarge it. See that name? Tinian, as in James Tinian IV. Writes horror. Wrote Batman. Great writer. Basically, it's the thing that's in your closet, but even if you were to, move, it follows you. And I believe it's an ongoing. I don't think it's just a short series. This starts next week. I think this is going to be a really good book. I think it's going to be a freaky, scary book, and it's from Image. The Closet, #1. Does anybody have any suggestions or any books you want me to review or talk about? Or do you have any questions on any books? Any book runs? Is this a sequel to Disney's Monsters, Inc.? I'm wondering if that is a partial impetus for what's going on. Because, like, people get inspired, even the big writers get inspired by things that are popular in pop culture and do their own spin on things, a wildly different spin. At this point, I don't know. That's not an impossibility that it's something like that. That maybe when they move, it's possibly a different monster, but all the monsters are connected through closets. I don't know. There's not enough details. There was a brief preview in Previews, the guide where you used to order comics, but it was only like 6 pages, and it didn't really say too much. It looked good, though. It looked enigmatic, and it looked good. So I think The Closet will be a good horror title. Let me clean some of this stuff up just a little bit more so we can get to our review. Okay, everybody. Our final review for tonight. Batman Fortress #1. I am floored by this book. I expected a good Batman story. This is Gary Whitta, who wrote Book of Eli and was a co-writer of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, the movie. This is an excellent take on Bruce, on Alfred, on Commissioner Gordon. It's really good. It's really good. And like the overall consensus is just like it was okay. It's far from just okay. I would actually like to see Gary Whitta take over the main Bat book. That's how much I enjoyed this, in all honesty. Superman's nowhere to be seen, and there's a blackout in Gotham. Unfortunately, this blackout in Gotham is not just in Gotham. As Bruce does some research, realizes it's all over the entire globe. Communications are shut down, and the equivalent of EMPs have gone off just about everywhere. What Bruce realizes is that in the, I think it's the ionosphere, there's a giant alien warship, or at least an extraterrestrial warship. You do not see that ship. You do not see aliens or anything like that. So there could be something else going on here, but that's what it looks like right now, and Superman's nowhere to be seen. And one of the big questions Bruce has is, where is Supes? What's going on with that? It's really good. Like I said, the conversations between Commissioner Gordon and Batman are awesome in this book. Batman will upset people, though. This is a socially conscious Batman, and I'm wondering if that's affecting some of the reviews on this specific book. This Batman, here's one of the criminals that is actually breaking in to Wayne Manor, okay? So the opening scene is 3 criminals break into Wayne Manor, and both Alfred and Bruce take them out like nothing, right? Well, one of them says that he has 5 kids, and that's why he's doing this, and still comes at Bruce with a gun when Bruce gives him the option that he can just run and leave. Once he's dispatched, knocked out, not killed, obviously, it's Batman, Bruce makes sure to go to Alfred and says, hey, look into that story about the 5 kids, and if that's true, get him some money from the Wayne Foundation. There are a lot of comic fans that don't want a Batman that's, compassionate, more, I guess you'd say, liberal. Then there's another scene where during this massive blackout, there's rioting, and Batman says, I didn't put on the suit to stop the poor from, having these small little luxuries in this terrible world. And you see someone that's like stealing a TV, but it is a Wayne television. It actually says Wayne on the box. And he says, this is why I put the costume on. And then he's beating the heck out of actual criminals that have cornered someone in a back alley. So that's also going to upset people. This, like I said, a socially conscious Batman, and I think it works. I think the idea of the privilege that Batman has had really has hit home for him. And you saw that if you saw the Batman. And I think it works, and I think it's good. I feel that after 80 some years, you can do some changes to a character. And, being in this ivory tower of Wayne Manor and being a billionaire, you should have some compassion, some understanding of the people that you're actually fighting for. So if people have an issue with that, screw them. I'd say something more colorful, but in respect to DSG and this channel not being mine, I will not. I'll just use that term. There's also an amazing scene that is politically charged with a very wild line of dialogue where the Joker says, what are these kids learning these days? Maybe I'll go and apply to get on the school board. This is so timely because right now what's happening is far-right crazies are trying to get on school boards in different districts. So having the Joker say that, and Gary Whitta being a liberal person, that's the point he's getting at. That was awesome. That was awesome. But even beyond all that, this is a really good Batman book. As I'm reading this book, I'm actually picturing the voice of Kevin Conroy as Batman. That's how well Gary gets the character. Now, we haven't seen a ship, haven't seen aliens yet. I don't know where it's going to go, but I think issue 1 is really strong. I really liked it a lot. So the 2 books this week, I would go with Batman Fortress #1. TMNT was good, but the artwork just to me didn't speak to me. Batman Fortress has beautiful artwork as well. It's not just the writing. Everything looks great. Phenomenal looking Bruce, phenomenal looking Alfred. Let's see, Robertson did the art. Looks like Rodriguez did the coloring of the book. Oh, sorry, I'm moving something incorrect. There we go. It's good that Joker's trying to get invested. Yes, because that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's literal though, and that becomes the main crux of the story. Him getting on the school board. I don't see that happening, but now, does anyone have any questions of any books you want me to review or talk about or anything like that? Any suggestions? Let me know. Again, the addition of audio makes these episodes much better. I already have a rough idea what I'll review next week, but I don't want to say quite yet. So, one book I'm reviewing next week is actually a friend's book, and that's called Dreamboat. And that's actually part of a Kickstarter. Give me 1 second here. I have the information. It's the Starcross 2022 Spring Bundle. And Dreamboat is part of that. And my friend Dan actually wrote Dreamboat, does the artwork as well. And so I definitely wanted to talk about that, and then I'll actually review it next week, issue 1. Can I review Paw Patrol? Paw Patrol is, I believe, isn't it mentioned? Yeah, it's mentioned in Rescue Rangers. Yeah, Joker's gonna be invested. That'd be amazing, though. An entire story arc of Joker getting into politics just to be the head of the school board. Or on the school board. I don't know, you'd be the head of it. Let's see. Yeah. Don't see any suggestions. So I will thank everyone very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Means a lot. It's great to have people to talk to. When you're streaming and like no one's chatting, it's like, oh my god, during my stream the world ended. That is a thought that sometimes goes through my mind. I'm like, oh my god. I'm the last. The Last of Us takes a new meaning. You're not real. I knew it! I knew it! No, not at all misplaced. No, I appreciate everyone who's incredibly active this week, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you for being here, Misplaced. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you, everyone that showed up. I greatly appreciate it. Spring was here earlier. Spring's significant other right now is like, oh, that Hoarder gamer. Ooh. Because I showed the Hot Toys Scarlet Witch figure. Thank you, Misplaced. I love to do these, so that works out very well. Okay, everybody. So this has been, I think, a really good episode, and you helped make it a great episode. So thank you. If you enjoyed this or know people that love comics, let them know about the show. That'd be awesome. Not just for me, but for the Doom Squad. So, yeah. Thank you very much, Misplaced. Thank you. I will try. I will try. Yeah, and the new previews did come out today, everybody. So again, that's the comic book catalog. So I believe this one's going to be due. I think it's nationwide the same date, June 18th. So like you go and decide what books you want for the next month, and your LCS local comic shop will order them. And because there's a weird rift, Marvel and DC have their own mini catalogs, but those at least have pictures and full descriptions of each book. So. But yeah, everybody, I'd like to thank Doom Squad Gaming and Doom for letting me use the Doom Squad Gaming YouTube channel. And yeah, this has been another episode of Hoarder's Comic Flex. And tonight at 10 p.m. Central, I'll be going live on my Twitch channel. I don't know exactly what I'll be playing. It might be more Evil Dead. Because usually on Wednesday, the game stream is usually about just 2 hours. It's relatively short. So, but yeah, 10 p.m. Central, I'll be on my Twitch channel, Hoarder Gamer. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great night. And I'll see you later. Bye bye. See you next week.